It's coffee time.
Welcome to day 3 of the mini Evilathon. You guys always catch me in the kitchen in the morning. That's where the coffee grows in the morning, and that is what I need. So last night I did end up reading a little bit more of The House on Moon Creek Avenue by E. Reyes, and I gotta say this is a really cool haunted house story because we are exploring the options of having a haunted house in which a lot of different ghosts might be inhabiting the space, and our main character finds herself in a really weird position because these ghost encounters that she's having, or that she thinks she has, she firmly believes these are not nightmares. She believes these are things that she is actually seeing, and it's starting to really be a problem in her normal life and with her daughter, with her daughter's school, like with everything. It's really interfering in her life. So she's kind of in a pickle. She doesn't really know what to do about it. And I'm already on page 130, so it's going to be a great read for today's morning with my coffee so that I can finish this one. And so far I'm really enjoying it, and I would like to see more by the author. But now we're gonna have our coffee, and it's early in the morning. I woke up, I went to the supermarket quickly to get some fresh vegetables, and now I think it's time to catch up a little bit with YouTube. I need to prepare a couple of videos for my movie channel, some ideas that I just came up with. And yeah, keep on reading our book, and I'll get back to you guys with our next update. Update for you guys. I have finished my third book for the mini Evilathon. I think I'm gonna give it 3.5. I generally really enjoyed it, and I think it's gonna be perfect for people that love stories like The Conjuring, for people that love a little bit of paranormal activity kind of stuff. There's a lot of different cool ghosts and things in this book, and I also love that it's divided in kind of sections, and it's just a really cool experience. I just feel like the horror was not maybe intense enough for me, but that is just because my level of horror, you know, is not as other people's level of horror. And I also find myself finding haunted houses stories not as scary as many people tend to find them. I love watching haunted houses movies and reading books, but they are not as scary for me as other type of stories. However, I really enjoyed this, and this is a debut novel, so I'm really excited to see what the author wrote after this one. I know he has other books and short stories, so I am going to be definitely picking them up. And now, even though it's a Saturday, I'm an adult, so I need to go clean my apartment a little bit, you know, living with cats and birds. It is what it is. So I'm gonna do some cleaning, and then I'm gonna sit down to start reading Horns by Joe Hill. I'm really excited because I don't know what to expect from the story. I'm assuming it's going to be really odd, like really weird and kind of bizarre. But you know what? We're here for it, and I still have today and tomorrow to read that one. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to finish it because it seems like, even though it's under 300 pages, I think, or more or less 300 pages, it seems the letters are a little bit small, so we shall see. But I'm just happy that I'm finally gonna get to reading Horns by Joe Hill because it's been on my list since forever, and it's also gonna give me the excuse to bring you guys another movie versus book video, which I haven't done in a while, and I love doing those. Plus Daniel Radcliffe, I don't know why he tends to be in movies that are so awkward and bizarre, and I love them, like Swiss Army Man and Guns Akimbo. Like all of these movies, I'm like, yes please, but they're like so bizarre. They're definitely not for everybody, but I tend to love them, so I'm hoping that I'm gonna love both the book and the movie here. quick update from me and Lilith. As you can see, Lilith is completely passed out and I'm also kind of falling asleep. I don't know why, because I did have a good night's sleep last night. It's also not the book, it's just I feel really tired after having my lunch. So I made it in horns up to page 48, which I mean, it's not too bad. So far there's a lot of trigger warnings. I'm gonna put them down below, hopefully I will remember. And yeah, there's also the mention of the N word, the mention of the F word, so there's a lot to take into consideration if you're going to pick up this book. The pacing is so far okay. It's a little bit uneven at times. We are following the story of Ig. He is a guy that just woke up in his bathroom. He doesn't remember how he got home. He has also a lot of missing pieces of last night, but he has realized when looking at himself in the mirror that he has like 2 little horns coming out, and he's unsure on how far they go into his head. He thought at the beginning, you know, he had too much to drink last night, probably. He starts to think maybe he's hallucinating and seeing these horns because there is a tumor on his brain. So he's trying to come up with a logical explanation, I guess, to the horns. And he even goes to the hospital to let them check what's going on. The thing is, he realizes that everybody he speaks to, like the girlfriend that lives with him, the people at the hospital, like the receptionist, the woman and the daughter that are in the waiting room, they are all telling him things, kind of like confessions. It's things they have done, things they would like to do, and also the darkest things they would never tell anybody because they are way too dark to even speak them out loud. And so he starts to wonder what the heck is going on. Also, the doctor at the hospital does not seem concerned that he has horns coming out of his head. And he's like, what the heck is going on? So this sounds like it's going to be one hell of a story. Also, we learn that Marin, his ex-girlfriend, died a year ago. Not only that, she was murdered, and at the beginning he was a suspect, but he was never charged. And you know, he always claimed that he never did anything to her. And yeah, it's been a year later, but people are still remembering her. I still don't know how all of the pieces of this puzzle are gonna come together, but this is definitely sounding like a wild ride, and I'm curious to see where everything is going to lead. And of course, what are these horns? Where did they come from? What does it mean? Why is he now able to hear everybody's thoughts, or why are people telling him their deepest secrets? He even goes to a church, and the father there, he tells him horrible things he's done, and I'm like, okay, cool, like this is probably something like a superpower that you don't want to have, like people telling you their darkest thoughts and the darkest things they've ever done. Must not be a lot of fun. So in order not to fall asleep, because I'm really tired, I think I'm going to make more coffee. You can never have enough. And I think I'm gonna do my workout now and have a cold shower so that hopefully we are a little bit more awake to keep reading. And yeah, we'll see where the story takes us. Alright, you guys, it is later in the day. It is currently 8:30 p.m. so I've had my workout, I've showered, I've had dinner, so we are ready. And I did read a little bit more of horns. I read until page 98, and I think I might leave it at here for today. The chapters are fairly short, which I appreciate, but for some reason the writing is very slow paced, and I'm finding myself reading it a lot slower than I expected. There is a difference between horns and Nosferatu. Nosferatu, even though it's a thick boy, is like over 600 pages. I was flying through it, and I feel like with this one I need to take my time because it is so slow paced. Also, I don't think it helps that the flashbacks are not really explained. Like, basically we saw the present, and then after that we're just seeing flashbacks from our main character's past, and you know, how he met his current girlfriend, what happened when he had some friends that were kind of bullying him, like all of these things. And I'm just like, what's happening with the horns? Like, I need to know. So I feel like that is dragging it a little bit for me, because you get really excited about the fact that this guy just wakes up one day with horns. He doesn't know where they come from. They seem to be like growing out of his head, like out of his skull, and that's what I want to know. Of course, sometimes it's really important to have some background of the character, some flashbacks, to understand certain things, certain behaviors, and I'm all for that. Like, I'm not a hater of flashbacks. I just feel like the way that they're being presented, they're dragging the story a little bit for me, and since the book is kind of slow paced, it's also not helping. So for the rest of the day today, I don't think I'm gonna do any more reading, but we shall see. I thought I would try a game that they gave me. It is called Doll House, and I think it's kind of a horror-ish video game, so I think I'll try it and see if I like it at all. I don't know, with horror movies and horror books, I can take anything. When it comes to video games, it depends. It depends. There's a lot of Asian video games out there, horror video games, that are a little bit intense. So when I'm playing those, I basically have to play like half an hour and then take a break, because my heart cannot take it. There's something about that feeling of you being the one moving the character and you being the one, you know, going through the rooms, and it's just so creepy. So when it comes to movies and books, give me anything. I can watch it, I can read it, no problem. But with video games, it's a different story. It's a different game. Sorry you guys, it's late. So I'm gonna try Doll House and see how it is, and maybe later watch a horror movie. I'm not sure, but it's Saturday night, so yeah, that's the plan for the rest of my evening.
Good morning, Lily. Rise and shine, honey. Good morning. We're gonna read a little bit. Yes.
So you guys, it is Sunday officially, and I thought we could start the day by just reading a little bit in bed with some coffee, because I like to do that when I have the time. So today I'm gonna take the time to do that, wake up with coffee and a book, and we're here in the kitchen to get some coffee. And my cat has decided that his new sleeping place is my kitchen counter. Blakey, I don't know, he changes like every 2 weeks or so. He looks for a different spot. That makes no sense. Like anything but the couch or the bed. Nice. Thank you, sir. Does your cat or your pet in general sleep in weird places? Let me know down below. Today, I don't know which mug are we gonna use. The options are endless. I'm guessing, yeah, let's do Animal Crossing again today, because I forgot to check on my island again for like a week. Poor people. I mean, they didn't know that it was gonna be so bad when they moved into my island. So it's time for some coffee. Yes, yes, yes. And we're gonna read a little bit more of horns. I was considering if I should add like a short book into the mix, because I feel like horns is gonna take me a little bit longer, and I don't want to force myself to go through it fast, because it's a book that I have the feeling you have to read it a little bit slower. I didn't know when I went into it, so I might pick up another book from my shelves for today, like a short quick read for in between, to kind of cleanse myself. And I also still have the graphic novel, which is Lock and Key Volume 5. So yeah, a lot of reading plans today. we shall see what we accomplish in our last day for now of the Evilathon until November comes around and we get a full month of it. Hello guys, update. I am currently working on a video for my movie channel. I've decided to make one of my long movie recommendations video, and these ones take a little bit to plan, record, and edit. However, for some reason these are really satisfying to me because I know a lot of people get excited to get movie recommendations as well as book recommendations, but they do take hours to make. So I guess what I want to tell you guys is this is a reminder that if you like some creators' content, support them as much as you can. So this is going to take some time away from my reading, but I really want to get this done today so that I can upload the video tomorrow. And I also need to edit the first reading vlog for this Evilathon. So today is going to be very challenging when it comes to time management. But we have faith that I still will be able to squeeze in some reading in betweens. And also, please pray that I don't forget to visit my villagers again, because by the time that I go back to my island, nobody's gonna be there. Also, this munchkin is super distracting because how can she look this cute? I cannot take it. I just can't. Also, she woke me up again like at 5. And her brother woke me up at 4, at 5, at 6. So, of course, now she needs to take a nap.
You okay, honey? Is this your Sunday mood? Yeah. Oh, honey. What's happening? Huh? Oh my goodness. Why are you this cute and this fluffy? It's not fair. It's not fair. Hmm?
I have news, you guys. I have another update for the day. So I have made it exactly halfway through Horns by Joe Hill. And honestly, if you're gonna start with a Joe Hill book, if you've never read him before, I would recommend you to pick up a book like Nosferatu and not this one, because this one, my way of describing this book to you is somebody that is kind of like in an acid trip, and he is going through the city, going through places that trigger memories from his past, and those memories are both good and bad. So he revisits some trauma as well as some good fond memories that he has, like from his ex-girlfriend Marin, the one that was killed. And honestly, it is a little bit hard sometimes to know exactly where you are in time until you've read a couple of paragraphs, because he keeps going to visit people, to visit places that trigger those memories, and they are kind of, everything's kind of like in between in the same chapters. So it can be a little bit, you know, complicated to understand at the beginning what's going on. I do enjoy the story all in all because it just sounds bonkers to me. It just sounds crazy. Plus he keeps talking about his horns and how these horns have certain effects on people, and he's still considering options like, should I saw this off, or what should I do with them? But we still don't know really what these horns are doing there. I hope by the end of the book I get some resolution, because imagine if you're being explained everything about these horns and at the end of the book you don't get any explanation at all. Like, that would be a little bit disappointing, but we shall see. I mean, honestly, even though it is slow burn, I'm still enjoying to hear about his story, what happened to him when he was a kid with his different friends, and the relationship he has now with those same friends, or now maybe enemies. But yeah, definitely I would not recommend this one as your first Joe Hill read. Hello guys, so it's a couple of hours later and it has taken me forever to record that video for my other channel because I keep forgetting that I only have one battery for my camera, and I really need to get at least 1 or 2 extra batteries, because sometimes I'm mid filming video when my battery dies and I have to wait for the battery to charge again and then keep going, and it's so annoying. If you're a content creator, you probably know what I'm talking about. So now that that is done and I've had a snack, I was thinking, since today I have not moved, I mean, I've been just in my apartment all day, even though I've been productive, but I haven't moved my body. I think I'm gonna force myself to go outside to read. I have not went to the outside world to read since probably 2019. And you know, there are some places around my area that are nice, that you can just sit down, relax and chill and read for a little bit. So I think I'm gonna grab 1 or 2 super quick reads and go and sit there for a while, be outside, even though the weather is a little bit poop. But I think it's gonna do me good, you know, get some fresh air, because I've been you know, the last 4 days a lot at home. Also, it sucks that the gyms are still not open. I think they're gonna reopen soon, because, you know, then it's also an excuse to go out of the house and move. And yeah, I mean, working from home, at least I can work out here as well with what I have, but it's not the same. So we're gonna go and venture to the outside and get a little bit of reading done. Alright you guys, so we're back from our walk. I've been out of the house for nearly 2 hours, so it's been a long walk. So I'm back home and I only managed to read 1 book while I was away. It was getting dark, plus I'm really hungry, so I need dinner. So I read the first volume of Fright Bill called Don't Let the Doll In by Mike Ford, and I really enjoyed it more than I thought. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a little bit more childish, you know, a little bit more just fun time, but actually the story was kind of dark. It is this girl that has built a really nice dollhouse with her mom, and she absolutely loves this dollhouse. So she's looking for the perfect little doll to put in the house to live there, and she hears about this shop that is new in town called Fright Bill, which, loving the name, and apparently they have a lot of interesting toys that include like werewolves and vampires and little mummies, but she wants something more classic. She wants a little girl. So she convinces her dad to take her to the store, and the owner tells her that he has some special items that he's gonna show her. And of course, between those special items we find Charlotte the doll, and when she sees this doll she falls in love with it and she has to take her home. The owner of the store tells her that there is a rhyme that she has to say out loud every night when she puts the doll to sleep, and it's really important that she doesn't forget it. As we know with these stories, of course she forgets the rhyme, she doesn't remember the words anymore, and she doesn't think it's going to be a big deal, yet it is. So that's all I'm gonna tell you. That's like the first one chapter, and the rest I'll let you discover. But I have to say I really enjoyed this story. It was one of those typical goosebump stories kind of thing, and yeah, I had a lot of fun, and it was a nice quick read outside. And yeah, one more book down then for the mini Evilathon. So for the rest of my Sunday, I'm just gonna have dinner now while I edit part 1 of this reading vlog, so that hopefully will go up tonight. It all depends on how fast YouTube can upload it, to be honest. And then I'm just gonna try to read for as long as I can, until I just helplessly pass out. And tomorrow I will make the last clip for this vlog, and I will let you know exactly everything that I managed to read in these 4 days. Now, I have not been obsessing about reading all the time. I've taken my time also to do things that I had to do around the house and other things, so it's been kind of like an, you know, relaxed Evilathon, and I really enjoy that. I no longer put so much pressure on myself when it comes to readathons to like read non-stop 24/7. I'm just going with the flow and just reading as much as I can without putting so much pressure on myself. But I'm really happy with everything that I have read. Let's see if I can finish maybe one more book before tomorrow, but yeah, you'll find out in the next clip. Okay, you guys, so it is Monday morning and I am here to let you know everything that I managed to read for the mini Evilathon, those 4 days of Evilathon called The Forgotten Ones. I'm actually quite happy. I did not use all my time for reading. I've also been doing things that I had to do, and I'm still happy. I managed to read all of these. Well, I didn't complete Horns, so all in all I ended up reading 946 pages in 4 days, which is pretty good considering that I have been quite slowly with my reading lately. So let's quickly wrap up everything that I read. First we have Creep Over Volume 1, Truth or Dare. This was such a good read, better than I expected, and definitely gonna continue with the series. Then I read Frightville Volume 1, Don't Let the Doll In. I absolutely love horror combined with dolls. I know it doesn't always work that well, but I really enjoyed this story because it was so dark for a middle grade book, so another series that I want to continue. Then I finally read Mallory by Josh Malerman, a direct sequel to Bird Box that we got years later because the author got inspired after finishing watching the movie on Netflix, and he kept wondering, you know, what happened to Mallory, and he knew he had to write this story. So I really enjoyed it. Did I enjoy it more than Bird Box? No, but at least it was not disappointing, and I really enjoyed this one as well. So I'm glad that I did because I was a little bit scared. Then we have the haunted house story. We have The House on Moon Creek Avenue by E. Reyes, and like I said, even though this was not like a 5 coffee mug rating for me, I'm still gonna continue to read things by this author because I do like, you know, the topics and the things that he chooses, and the cover of his books are also stunning, and I really enjoy the writing and the way that he divided the story. I think that I was expecting something a little bit more scary for me, but it's such a good haunted house story. If you're looking for a haunted house story that is a little bit more, like I mentioned, like The Conjuring, like Paranormal Activity, this one might be for you. And last but not least, we have Horns by Joe Hill. Sadly, I only made it to page 190, but that's okay. It doesn't mean that I was not enjoying the book. I just didn't have the time, and this is a slow burner, and I found myself reading it really slowly, which is nothing bad. It's just, you know, I didn't have the time to finish it for the mini Evilathon, but I'm still gonna finish it this month. Alright guys, so this is everything that I managed to read for the mini Evilathon, the Forgotten Ones. I hope that you enjoyed both vlogs. I know they got a little bit too long. I'm so sorry, but I hope that you had a good time. Let me know down below, did you manage to read anything for the mini Evilathon? And if you didn't, don't worry, because we're gonna have a full month for the Evilathon in the month of November with new prompts. Also, I wanted to mention, I didn't tell you about the game that I tried, Dollhouse for PS4. Unfortunately, it was not really for me. I was not really vibing with the game, so I don't think I'll keep playing it. So just to give you a quick update on that. And yeah, this has been my mini Evilathon. I'll see you all guys either in our next vlog or in our next coffee time. Bye.